the cameras flashed.
Yeah.
The crowd just like completely froze. I mean, the confetti was literally still falling inside the frost banks.
Right, a 53-year curse had just been broken.
Exactly. But when the man of the hour, the newly minted Finals MVP finally took the microphone, he didn't just talk about basketball.
Oh, he did?
He had a message for an entirely different kind of dynasty, the Swifties.
Oh, man.
And just like that, Jalen Brunson finally responds to the Taylor Swift controversy, and Hollywood had a new obsession. Welcome to Starscope Report.
Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
Yes, and for today's deep dive, we are pulling from like a massive stack of sources for you. I've got Sportskeeda, Billboard,
Awful Announcing,
right, and Us Weekly. And we are breaking down exactly how a historic NBA championship collided with the world's biggest pop star, a hot mic, and honestly, the really dark side of internet fandom.
Yeah, it got intense.
It really did. So wherever you're listening from right now, settle in, because we are framing this entire deep dive around one major question. In the modern era of celebrity, who actually owns the right to claim a massive cultural moment?
And that battle for ownership really kicks off just a few days before the championship. We're talking Game 4 of the 2026 NBA Finals at Madison Square Garden.
The Garden was electric.
Completely electric. To understand the sheer weight of this moment, you have to look at the history. The New York Knicks had not won a title since 1973.
Which is wild.
It is. It's over half a century of, multi-generational heartbreak. Missed draft picks, just agonizing playoff exits.
Yeah, generations of fans had literally lived and died waiting for this team to be relevant again. And then in Game 4, they deliver the greatest single-game comeback in NBA Finals history.
Absolutely historic.
I mean, the Knicks erase a 29-point third-quarter deficit. They beat the San Antonio Spurs 106-105.
Unbelievable.
Jalen Brunson drops 36 points. The Garden is physically shaking.
Yeah. But amidst that historic sports triumph on the court, there's this totally parallel universe operating just a few feet away.
Right, Celebrity Row.
Exactly, Madison Square Garden's legendary Celebrity Row. Sitting courtside is Taylor Swift.
Of course she is.
Right, and she is alongside the Haim sisters, Esty and Alana, and Law & Order star Mariska Hargitay.
Who, by the way, had reportedly sprinted from her Broadway debut just to catch the second half.
Which is such a New York detail. And Swift is wearing this brilliant custom orange and blue t-shirt that literally says Stevie Nicks.
Which is just an incredible pun. I mean, that shirt alone could have dominated the fashion news cycle for a whole week.
Oh, easily.
You have the greatest sports comeback happening on the court and the biggest pop star in the world cheering courtside. It seems like the perfect, harmonious New York night.
Right. It seems perfect.
But the harmony shatters before the game even ticks off, and it all comes down to 4 whispered words.
Yeah, this is where it gets crazy. MSG Network broadcaster and ESPN analyst Monica McNutt is prepping for a radio simulcast with her partner, Tyler Murray.
Okay.
And Murray looks down at Celebrity Row and asks, off air, is that Taylor Swift down there?
A totally normal question.
Totally normal.
Mm.
But McNutt, not realizing her microphone is hot and broadcasting to the entire world, replies, she's not a Knicks fan. Get out of here, girl.
Oh, man. And the clip hits social media within minutes, like before the game is even really underway.
Yep.
By the time the Knicks complete their impossible comeback, that tiny audio file has been watched millions of times.
Millions.
Suddenly, the sports story of the decade is fighting for oxygen against this massive celebrity drama. The Swifties mobilize instantly.
Because they view this as the ultimate form of gatekeeping, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's like someone crashing a tightly knit family reunion.
That's a good way to put it.
Right. And they take the seat of honor, even if they are literally the most famous person in the world. The regulars, the family who suffered through the bad years, they're going to get defensive.
Yeah, but taking a step back from all the online outrage, we have to look at the mechanics of why McNutt made that comment in the first place.
Right. She's not just some random TV personality parachuting in for the final.
Exactly. She has covered the Knicks organization and Celebrity Row daily for 5 years. Her professional baseline for fandom is, highly geographic and physical.
Yeah, she knows who's in those seats.
Right. She knows exactly who shows up on a rainy Tuesday in November. People like Spike Lee, Ben Stiller, Tracy Morgan. And as she explained later, she had not seen Taylor Swift at a game all this season or last season.
Plus, there is the Cleveland context.
Oh, right, the Cleveland thing.
Yeah, McNutt noted that Swift had recently been spotted in Cleveland, supporting the Cavaliers alongside her fiancé, Travis Kelce. And crucially, Swift wasn't wearing any Knicks gear during that series. So if you're a beat reporter who evaluates loyalty by physical presence, seeing the biggest star in the world drop in for the finals, it feels like championship tourism.
Championship tourism, yeah.
It's like, where were you when we were losing?
Which exposes the core philosophical divide here. Is traditional geographic fandom this idea that you literally must physically suffer in the building to earn your stripes? Is that the only valid way to support a team?
I would argue absolutely not. And I really want you, the listener, to think about this as well. Does a lack of physical attendance negate emotional loyalty?
That's the big question.
Right. Can fandom be something you carry with you, even if you aren't sitting courtside at MSG every week?
Especially for Taylor Swift.
Exactly. She is currently running the most demanding global stadium tour in music history. You can't exactly drop into Section 120 on a random weeknight when you're playing to 100,000 people in Tokyo.
You're hitting on the exact shift from geographic fandom to demographic fandom.
Ooh, geographic to demographic. I like that.
Yeah, traditional sports culture demands proximity, right?
Yeah.
Visible suffering. But modern mega fandoms operate on digital identity and emotional alignment, completely regardless of physical location. The Swifties felt their idol's digital and emotional identity was being invalidated by this outdated set of rules.
And if you're loving these Hollywood twists and these deep cultural clashes, make sure you're subscribed, because we've got even crazier stories ahead.
Absolutely.
But the Swifties weren't just mad, they brought receipts, and the fallout was about to take a very dark, unexpected turn.
Yeah. The swiftness pun totally intended, and the coordination of the response was staggering. The fans didn't just get angry on Twitter, they weaponized their collective energy into, like, a full forensic investigation.
It's always so wild to me how that works.
Oh, it's terrifyingly impressive. Backed by Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy, the Swifties effectively operated as an open-source intelligence agency. They didn't just argue with McNutt. They crowdsourced labor to literally excavate the internet, digging through Getty Images, obscure magazine archives, and decade-old video clips to build this undeniable dossier of Swift's Knicks loyalty.
I am always blown away by the mechanics of this, how a decentralized group of fans can uncover deeply buried media faster than professional journalists.
Honestly, yes.
According to Billboard and Time magazine, the receipts they pulled were bulletproof. First, they found footage of Swift performing the national anthem at Madison Square Garden during a Knicks game,
Right?
when she was just 12 years old.
12. And they followed that up with a 2014 interview she did with Time. This was right during her 1989 era, when she had just moved to New York and basically became the city's unofficial ambassador.
Yeah, the Welcome to New York era.
Exactly. In that interview, she explicitly declared her love for the team, saying she's had this sparkly, magical opinion of MSG and the Knicks ever since that childhood performance.
Wow.
And when the interviewer asked about the team's struggles at the time because they were struggling, she simply replied, "I love them, though. Why does that matter?"
But the absolute mic drop moment, the real proof, was the wardrobe receipt.
Oh, the jersey.
Yes. They dug up photos of her wearing a vintage Amar Stoudemire jersey.
Now that is specific.
Very. For anyone listening who might not follow basketball history, an Amar Stoudemire jersey is not just a generic piece of tourist merchandise.
Not at all.
Stoudemire was the face of a very specific, gritty, early 2010s Knicks rebuild. So finding a photo of her in that specific jersey proves she wasn't just jumping on a 2026 championship bandwagon.
Right.
She was paying attention during a foundational and often incredibly frustrating era of Knicks basketball.
And faced with this absolute mountain of irrefutable evidence, McNutt acted with incredible professional grace.
She did.
She issued apologies and clarifications. She took to her Instagram stories and later appeared on The Breakfast Club. She even told TMZ Sports, "If I'm wrong, I am wrong," apparently, because she's got an OG Amari Stoudemire jersey. I misspoke.
Yeah, she owned it.
She did, but she stood her ground on her initial context. She noted orange and blue is uniting everybody, but reiterated that her comment was based strictly on her own daily observations on the floor.
Which is a completely reasonable defense. I mean, she made an observation based on her immediate reality.
Exactly.
But, and it is vital to note here, as we look through these reports from TMZ and Awful Announcing, we are acting purely as messengers for you guys.
Yeah, very important.
We aren't taking sides on this cultural clash, but we have to look at the reality of what McNutt faced online, because it got incredibly ugly, incredibly fast.
It really did.
This wasn't just a debate over basketball attendance anymore. It crossed into severe, targeted harassment.
The reports detail how fans just flooded her social media. They labeled her a piece of shoot and a fake activist. And the conversation rapidly escalated from just sports fandom into racial territory.
And McNutt addressed this directly during her appearance on The Breakfast Club. She pointed out a glaring double standard in how the situation was being treated by the public.
Right.
She stated, and this is a quote, "If I was in a different body, it would be nothing."
Wow.
Yeah. She expressed deep frustration that an off-air, passing observation about basketball attendance was instantly weaponized into accusations of racism by fans and certain media outlets.
And this reveals the most dangerous mechanism of modern stan culture, honestly. While their ability to gather information is impressive, their core directive, defending the idol at all costs, is entirely non-negotiable.
There's no gray area.
None.
Yeah.
There's no room for nuance or honest mistakes in that ecosystem. A benign, slightly snarky comment between colleagues is treated with the exact same severity as a targeted personal attack.
Yeah.
And it triggers this digital army that seeks to dismantle the critic on a deeply personal level.
It's like two entirely different sets of rules were trying to govern the exact same space.
The sports media ecosystem, it values gritty authenticity and, honestly, the right to critique tourists.
Exactly.
But the pop culture ecosystem demands absolute reverence for the icon. And neither side was backing down. The situation was spiraling into a toxic sideshow that genuinely threatened to overshadow the actual NBA Finals.
Yeah, so stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next, because this is where the story pivots.
Big time.
How do you stop a digital army from tearing a broadcaster apart? You bring in the MVP.
The shocking twist nobody saw coming happened on the biggest stage in sports.
Yeah, that brings us to the climax of the story, Game 5.
Yes. We shift from New York down to the Frostbank Center in San Antonio, and the stakes literally could not be higher.
No.
The Knicks are 48 minutes away from ending 53 years of generational misery. I want you to picture the tension in that building.
The Spurs are a phenomenal team. Victor Wembanyama puts up an absolute fight with 19 points and 14 rebounds.
But Jalen Brunson just refuses to let the Knicks lose.
He really does.
He drops 45 points on the night. He scores 13 straight points in a crucial, just suffocating stretch in the fourth quarter.
Unreal.
And when the final buzzer sounds, the Knicks win 94-90. The 53-year curse is officially dead.
Brunson, who averaged over 32 points for the entire series, is awarded the Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP trophy.
So deserved.
He becomes the first Knicks point guard to ever win the award, joining mythical franchise legends like Willis Reed and Walt Frazier. It is the absolute pinnacle of his entire life's work.
He's holding the trophy, the confetti is falling, he is surrounded by cameras, reporters, just crying fans everywhere.
Yeah.
He has the microphone. He could have spent his entire speech talking about the decades of suffering. He could have focused purely on his teammates or his personal journey.
And he does touch on those things.
He does, but then he makes a highly calculated, incredibly specific pivot.
He specifically carves out time on the biggest broadcast of the year to address the Taylor Swift controversy.
Yeah.
He finds Monica McNutt, who is right there covering the postgame celebration. He looks into the camera and he says, "I just want to say something to the Swifties. She's a really good one. Cut her some slack. It's all good, I promise."
It is a masterstroke of sports diplomacy.
Really?
He uses his ultimate moment of triumph to essentially throw a protective shield over his local beat reporter.
Yeah.
He signals to the world that the Knicks media family is united, while simultaneously validating the Swifties,
Yeah.
gently telling them that their point has been made, but it's time to stand down.
I am still in awe of that presence of mind. Out of everything competing for his attention at that exact second, he recognizes the human cost of this internet vitriol, and he just shuts it down.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is that the entire Knicks organization seemed to follow his lead to bridge this gap. The players' wives and girlfriends, often referred to as wags in the sports world, they stepped in to validate Swift's presence as well.
Right. Jalen's wife, Ollie Marks Brunson, and teammate Josh Hart's wife, Shannon Hart, went on the record with Us Weekly.
Huge.
And these women are essentially the matriarchs of the team's culture. Their words carry immense weight inside that building.
Oh, absolutely.
Ollie Brunson specifically praised Swift's genuine enthusiasm, noting how cool it was that she was there in her custom matching shirts.
Yeah.
And Shannon Hart detailed how Swift was jumping up and down, hugging strangers, totally swept up in the disbelief of the comeback. They officially stamped her as a, quote, true fan.
But this raises a major question about the currency of influence. Does it take an athlete of Brunson's newly minted MVP status to successfully broker peace with a fandom as powerful as the Swifties?
That's a fascinating point.
Right. If a bench player had taken the microphone and said, cut her some slack, does the internet actually listen? Or did it require the guy physically holding the championship trophy to get that digital army to retreat?
It almost certainly required the MVP. Brunson spent that entire playoff run building undeniable capital, both on the basketball court and in the broader cultural zeitgeist.
Yeah.
When he spoke to the Swifties, he wasn't speaking as just a basketball player. He was speaking as the undisputed king of New York in that moment.
Wow, yeah.
He spoke with a cultural authority that matched Swift's own.
Which proves a massive, macro-level insight for us to take away here. Live sports are no longer just about the game on the court. Live sports are the last remaining monoculture.
Exactly.
It is the only thing millions of people still watch at the exact same time. And because of that, the broadcast has evolved into two parallel shows.
Look at the broader context of Game 5.
Yeah.
You had Timothée Chalamet going viral for shouting into an ESPN camera.
I saw that.
You had Ben Stiller filming a courtside documentary. The celebrity parallel broadcast is now just as powerful and sometimes even more viral than the athletic competition itself.
Yeah.
Networks like ESPN and MSG, they know that merging pop monoculture with sports monoculture is an absolute goldmine.
And Jalen Brunson understood the assignment on a genius level. He realized that to truly cement his legacy in 2026, he had to be the MVP of both courts.
Both courts, yeah.
He dominated the hardwood, and then he masterfully navigated the pop culture fallout on Celebrity Row, protecting his people while acknowledging the new reality of demographic fandom.
He proved that in the modern era, the media ecosystem surrounding the game is inextricably linked to the game itself. You can't just win the game, you have to win the narrative.
So next time you were watching a championship game, amidst the flashing cameras and the falling confetti and the broadcast cuts to a massive celebrity sitting courtside, ask yourself this: are we watching the game, or are we just watching them watch the game?
Oh, that's a great thought.
And in a world where digital armies can mobilize in seconds, who really owns the right to call themselves a true fan?
It is definitely something to think about the next time you tune in.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.